Lantern and Moon Festival Tale. Now, tell me again, what are you going to buy from the market? Said Lin Yi's mother. Lin Yi counted the items off on his fingers as he repeated the list once more. Mooncakes, starfruit, rice, yams and peanuts for Uncle Hugh. Good boy, said his mother. Can I buy a red rabbit lantern for the moon festival, please? Begged Lin Yi. Well, that's up to you, said his mother. I have no more money to spare, but if you bargain well at the market, you may have enough left for a red rabbit lantern. Lin Yi smiled happily. That won't be a problem. I can bargain better than anyone I know. He turned to go, reciting the list like a poem as he walked. Mooncake, starfruit, rice, yams, and don't forget the peanuts for Uncle Hugh. You know how much he likes them, called his mother after him. There he is. As Lin Yi cycled to market, he smiled and waved to people working in the rice paddies. Very soon he saw Uncle Hugh checking the fish drying outside his house. Are you well, Uncle Hugh? Asked Lin Yi. Yes, thank you, Uncle Hugh answered as he turned the last fish to face the sun. I'm off to market, said Lin Yi. If I bargain well, Mother says I can buy a red rabbit lantern with the change. And will you be taking it to the picnic tonight? Asked his uncle. Yes. Will you be climbing the mountain with us, Uncle Hugh? Of course, he said. I may be getting old, but I still enjoy mooncakes and peanuts. Good luck with your bargaining. Lin Yi grinned happily and hurried on his way. Lin Yi smiled as he passed under the moon gate. That will bring me luck in my bargaining at the market, he thought. And I shall now live for 5 minutes longer. In the market, Lin Yi stopped to look longingly at the candy apples. Do you want to buy one? Asked the trader. No, thank you, said Lin Yi. I have to buy mooncake, starfruit, rice, yams, and I mustn't forget the peanuts for my uncle. But if I bargain well, my mother says I may buy a red rabbit lantern with the change. But my candied apples are very good, said the trader. You could buy one of these and still have money to spare. They do look delicious, said Lin Yi. But I really want a red rabbit lantern for the festival tonight. Goodbye then, said the trader, smiling. Maybe you will change your mind later. Lin Yi knew he wouldn't change his mind. He really wanted that red rabbit lantern, even more than a candied apple. How much is a small sack of rice, please? Lin Yi asked the rice trader. How much money do you have? Said the trader. Lin Yi showed him. Why, you are rich, said the trader. You could buy my finest fragrant rice with that money. No, thank you, said Lin Yi. I have to buy mooncakes, starfruit, rice, yams, and I mustn't forget the peanuts for my uncle. But if I bargain well, Mother says I may buy a red rabbit lantern with the change, and I really want a red rabbit lantern for the festival tonight. Then I shall bargain with you, the man laughed, and he started with a very high price. Ha! Lin Yi laughed too. That's far too much. I will give you a quarter of that amount. Too little, said the rice trader. Do you think I'm a fool? They bargained and bargained, and until eventually Lin Yi agreed to a sensible price, one he knew his mother would approve of. Lin Yi was feeling very pleased with himself after buying the rice for such a good price. He was beginning to enjoy his shopping. So when he bought the star fruit, he bargained hard, and once more he did very well. At the next stand, he paused to look at a little dough figure. He wanted to buy one to play with, but then he reminded himself that he would need to keep all the money he could if he wanted to get that red rabbit lantern. So he moved on to buy some yams. Again he bargained well and put the yams into his basket with the star fruit and the rice. Now, Lin Yi thought, I have only the mooncakes and the peanuts for my uncle to buy. But on the way to buy the mooncakes, the lantern caught Lin Yi's eye. He couldn't resist stopping to take a look. Would you like to buy one of my red rabbit lanterns for the festival tonight? Asked the lantern seller. Lin Yi stared. He loved the large red rabbit lanterns that were decorated with gold, but he knew they would be far too expensive. No, I must wait, he said, shaking his head. I still have to buy the mooncakes. Then I'll come straight back for one of your small red lantern rabbits. But there are lots of people buying mooncakes today. By the time you return, I may have sold both the small lanterns. Please wait, please, he begged. I really want the red rabbit lantern. Promise me you'll keep one for me. I'm sorry, said the lantern seller. I have a wife and children to feed, so if someone wants the last red lantern, I must sell it to them. After all, you may not bargain well enough, and then you will not have enough money for a lantern. Li Yin hurried away to buy the mooncakes. At last he thought, arranging the mooncakes in his basket, now I am ready to buy the red rabbit lantern. Just then a woman walked past munching peanuts. Oh, and suddenly he remembered he hadn't got the peanuts for his uncle. Oh no! He counted his money carefully. Even if he bargained well, he knew he would not have enough to buy peanuts and the lantern. His heart sank right down to his shoes. He had tried so hard, and now it seemed that his dream was over. He stood for a while, trying to decide what to do. He so wanted that lantern, but he also knew how much his uncle loved peanuts. Biting his lip and wiping away his tears, Lin Yi turned firmly away from the lanterns and went to buy his uncle's peanuts. Sadly, Lin Yi cycled home without his red rabbit lantern. You are a very good boy, Lin Yi, said his mother. You have bought everything we need for our picnic. We have beautiful mooncakes decorated with the jade hair and the moon fairy. We have the star fruit and they will be delicious. You must have bargained well, especially for the rice and the yams. But Lin Yi, what about your red rabbit lantern? Didn't you manage to buy even a small one? No, said Lin Yi bravely, trying not to cry. But there will be others I can see at the festival tonight. It doesn't matter. But of course, in his heart it did matter. It mattered very much. Still, Lin Yi tried not to show it. Instead, he took the peanuts and gave them to his uncle with a big smile. Oh, thank you, Lin Yi, said his uncle. Now I have a present for you. What do you think it is? Lin Yi was speechless when he saw the red rabbit lantern. Oh, thank you, Uncle, he exclaimed. It is beautiful, far better than any lantern I dreamed of. Oh, and he beamed with happiness. How did you know that I didn't have enough money to buy one, he asked. Well, said his uncle, with a twinkle in his eyes, let's just say that during Moon Festival time, many special things can happen, especially if you pass through the moon gate. We don't ask the reason. We are just happy. And side by side they climbed the moonlit mountain, Uncle munching his peanuts as Ling Yi proudly carried his glowing red rabbit lantern. Yeah, beautiful. At the end of Chinese New Year, they have a beautiful lantern festival. Maybe you could try making a lantern. There's lots of ideas out there if you go and research. Have a go at making your own Chinese lantern. Here's a beautiful legend, and it was mentioned in the story about the moon fairy. Well, this is the lantern, the legend of the moon fairy. Here we go. Long, long ago, when China was at the very heart of the world, the earth had not one, but 10 suns circling around it. Each of these suns would take turns shining on the earth, which was a very beautiful place with its sparkling rivers that kept the land fresh and watered for the crops to grow. One day, mysteriously, all the suns began to shine on the earth together. The people became very hot. The rivers started to dry up and the land was cracked and parched. The emperor begged for someone to save the earth before all the animals died from thirst. The soil became dust and there was nothing left for people to eat or drink. For a long time, no one knew what to do. But then, one of the emperor's finest archers, a man called Yi, offered to shoot down all but one of the suns. The emperor was delighted to think that at last someone had come up with a clever and practical way to save the earth. Yi took careful aim and one by one he shot down 9 suns. People were calling Li a hero. So to thank him, the emperor gave him a reward of a magic potion. It was made from a secret recipe of herbs, which would let him live forever. That night, Yi left the potion beside him and fell into a deep sleep. His wife, Chang-O, wanted to be immortal, that means live forever, so she took the potion and quickly drank it down. Finding herself floating upward, Chang-O danced her way to the moon. When the people on earth saw Chang-O, they began to call her the Moon Fairy. Chang-O was very happy living on the moon. She built herself a crystal moon palace and made friends with a kind and gentle rabbit. He explained that he had once offered himself as food to 3 wise fairies who were disguised as hungry old men. As a reward for his amazing offer, they allowed him to come and live on the moon. He became known as the Jade Rabbit. Sitting outside one day beside the rabbit, Chang-O shivered on the cold air of the moon. Suddenly she coughed up some of the herb potion in the form of a pill. She wanted to share her happiness with the people on earth, so she asked the rabbit to grind the pill into small pieces and scatter them onto the earth, where they would fall like magic raindrops onto those who believed in her. Now, if you look closely at the moon on the time of the moon festival, you might just see the moon fairy dancing across the face of the moon, just like a beautiful shadow.